It's okay. We'll finish the sign-ins when we're done. You can leave them wherever they are. Thank you. Yeah. And so, as our fellow yogis come in and begin to join us, and the park begins to settle, I want you to feel how the stillness just came around you. And the way that you came into your stillness actually contributed to the whole, because we feel each other. And so when we all get riled up and happy, we feel the energy of the park rise. And when we bring our hands together like this and close our eyes and turn inward, we feel the energy of the park come down. And so today I want you to feel a part of this whole, this beautiful yoga community. Every week we come together and we support each other in the best of times and in our challenging times. This is a place that we can come to for support and comfort and growth. And so I know that each and every one of us came here today for something different, and every one of us that are practicing at home, you also have your own work to do. But this community is worldwide. Right now, in this moment, I think it's 37 countries, 37 states, 22 countries practicing with us. And I want you to feel a part of all of that. It's big. And it's because of you. Let's take another deeper breath, a breath that awakens you, a breath that makes you feel good to be alive. And then on the next inhale, I want you to feel even more vibrant and alive. So reach your arms up over your head, stretch up to that beautiful sky. Feel your body begin to stretch and open up some space. And then tip your ears up and look at your hands and take another breath. Stretch up, inhale, and then exhale, go ahead and fold over. Just fold all the way in. That's it. Let your head down. Let the spine soften. And then put your fingertips on your shins, come halfway up, lengthen your spine, and look a little forward. Draw the chest forward and the shoulders back. There you go. The belly button is in the spine, so we're getting some support from underneath. And again, we feel ourselves elongating that midline. Take another breath there. Fill up, and as you exhale, fold down low. And then coming up with that same flat back, inhale and rise all the way to standing. Lift your head and your chest, start to reach the arms up high. You can even touch your palms together if it feels good. And then exhale, bring them right back to your heart. That's it. Inhale again, arms reach. We're going to try to breathe and move. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen, halfway up. Fold again, exhale. And with a flat back, rise all the way to standing. Lift your head and chest, reach the arms high. Exhale, hands right by your heart. We're going to add on. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Inhale, stay right there. We're going to bend the knees a little bit, place the hands on the mat, and then step back to what we call plank pose. It's the upper push-up position. It requires a little bit more muscle engagement. The knees lift away from the floor. Feel the engagement of your leg muscles. Draw the belly into the spine and let your shoulders set into your back. Squeeze your hands toward each other gently so the chest strengthens. And then try to maintain all of that. Take another breath in and bend the elbows as you lower down slowly. Take it all the way to the belly. Oh, I love the way you're working today. Inhale, cobra pose. Sometimes that looks really sloppy. That wasn't bad at all. Exhale, release. We're going to do cobra again. Inhale, cobra. Make it a little smaller. And then exhale, release. This time, inhale, cobra. Make it small. Extend your legs back a little longer and press the top of your feet down. Don't let them lift in the air. Good. Now lift your hands up an inch and squeeze your elbows together and see if you can come up a little higher. Press into your feet, use your legs, and really lift the chest. Feel how strong your back is. No hands here. No hands. See if you can get your hands off the floor about an inch. Lift your hands. Yeah, it changes everything. Now, keep doing the work you're doing. Put your hands back down and enhance your work a little. That's where you belong. A little bit of work from the arms, a lot of work from your back. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, come into your first downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hips go way up. Fingers are spread wide. There is some action that you feel in the midline here, the space between the arms. You're squeezing it a little bit so you can broaden your chest. I want you to pull the belly in toward the spine and lift your hips high. Make that midline a little longer. And then press back through both of your legs. And your feet can be about hip distance apart, so you want to open your feet up. And you don't want to move your hands or your feet at all, but you really want to use your legs to pull the pose back. So straighten the knees without locking them. Yeah. Make those legs feel super strong. And then let's look at our hands and start to simply walk our feet to the top of the mat. So go ahead and walk the feet up to the top. Come halfway up, inhale, and then fold deeply on the exhale. Just like we did at the beginning with a flat back, rise up. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands come to the heart center. Nice work. Again, inhale, arms reach. We're going to put it all together. Exhale, forward fold. Come halfway up, inhale, lengthen that midline. Exhale, go to plank. Feel how strong you are right up the middle. The space between the legs, the space between the hands, you're working everything. And then lower down slowly. Inhale for cobra. Make the line long from the toes to the tip of the nose. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's it. So push a little bit more through the right hand. Lift the right hip and sink the right heel. Just feel what that feels like in that side of the pose. And then take that same kind of energy, push into the left hand, lift the left hip a little bit. And then use that left leg a little more strongly, push into the left heel. And you kind of feel how when you decide to put your action and your energy into one area, it kind of lights that area up. So we want to make sure that palm is flat. You're pushing back. That's it. Now I want you to light up the whole pose. Both hands, both feet, lift those hips high. Just make everything in the body feel vibrant and alive. It's like you're inviting all body parts to the party, the yoga party that you're having right inside you. Take one last breath here. And then look at your hands and strut your way up to the top of the mat. That's it. Halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply on the exhale. With a flat back, we're going to rise up to standing, lift the head and the chest, start reaching those arms high. Exhale, hands come right to the heart. We've got one more round. It's called Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms reach, saluting the sun. Exhale, forward fold. The energy source for the earth. Halfway up, inhale. Step back and lower on the exhalation. So all in one move, one exhale to the belly. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale back into down dog. I love it. It's nice fluid movement. And that is the signature to vinyasa yoga, like linking the breath and the movement together. Today we're doing it with mindfulness, right? We're doing it with a mindfulness to that midline. Elongating the body, keeping the belly drawn in, spine long. Take one last breath here. And then look at your hands, please. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, inhale, really lengthen here. Chest forward, eyes forward. Keep the length as you fold down deep. And then with that same flat back, let's rise all the way up. Lift your head and your chest, reach those arms, make it feel so good. And then hands right to your heart. That's it. Inhale, arms reach again. Hook your thumbs together, spread your fingers like rays of the sun, and take a little stretch over to your right. It doesn't have to be a big stretch to feel good. I think that's one of the biggest lessons I ever learned, because I'm really flexible. I thought I had to go all in every pose, but then I realized it feels so good just to expand and open the space, and then move the breath into that space. Let's keep that midline long. Lift the chest, lift up through the crown of your head, and then rise back up to center. Take it to the left side. Again, it doesn't have to be a big stretch. Like, you don't have to go all the way over. Like, find where the sensation is. The idea is that we're trying to expose those places of sensation because that's where the tension has built up in your body. And all we want to do is touch it enough, breathe into it enough to release it. If we yank on it too hard, I think we actually add tension. Then you get sore tomorrow. Now we have double work to do the next time we get on the mat. Inhale, rise back to the center. Release your arms down by your sides. Take a moment right here and just notice. 5 minutes of moving and breathing, and how do you feel? Right? Do you already feel the yoga? So could you imagine if you could remember those movements, and in the morning, you could just roll a mat out in your house? And you could just take 5 minutes and breathe and move and just reset yourself? It could be that easy to create a home practice. And if you don't trust yourself, you could tune in anytime. These classes that we do here every week are free for you. You could tune in anytime you want to. On demand, for you, for free. We should be doing yoga more. The more we do it, the better we feel. My passion is to make it accessible to everyone who wants to do it. When you're ready, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Fold again this time, fold deeply. And then bend your knees and come into chair pose. We're going to move into Surya Namaskar B. Sun Salutation B, a salute to the sun. We start to build our own heat. Right here, we're using larger muscles. Sit a little deeper, reach a little higher, take a breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Nicely done. Come halfway up, inhale. Now, like before, step back, plank pose, and lower. Lower slowly, take it all the way down. Inhale into cobra, more back muscle, a little less hands. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. The right foot's going to step up to the hands. I want you to stay on your left toes and come up into your first high crescent lunge. Stay on the toes of the back foot. Make sure you put some weight on that pinky toe. So turn the heel, a little bit out. The lateral border of that back foot gives this pose a lot of support. So don't disregard that pinky toe just because we don't use it much. Right now it's important. You feel weight in both of your feet. I want you to get length up that midline. It starts down in the pit of your belly. You can pull the belly button in. You can elongate up through your side waist. Reach to your fingers. Take a breath. And then exhale. Hands down. Step back and lower. That's it. Starting to get in a groove. Inhale, cobra pose. And then exhale, downward facing dog again. We'll take high crescent on the other side. So the left foot steps up. Stay on your right toes. Rise for high crescent lunge. Remember, the back foot has a purpose. That's it. Now, sink in a little lower this time. Try not to squeeze your knees to the midline. Push out to the lateral borders of your feet. Give yourself a little space. Hold your ground. And then from the pit of the belly, elongate up. Belly in, sideways long, fingers reach, inhale. Exhale, flow it out. Hands down, step back, and lower. Good. Inhale for cobra pose. Remember, it's back muscle, strengthening that back. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're going to take it up a notch. We're going to take that lunge and make it a warrior pose. So right foot steps up, left foot turns in, back foot flat, and then rise up for warrior one. That's it. Remember, the lateral border of the back foot still has a purpose. Yes. And then we elongate up through the midline. That's it. Reach up from the pit of your belly to your fingertips. The passion of a warrior should be visible here. Yes. You are holding that ground. Your chest plate is forward. There is a powerful energy about the warrior pose. Show me. Fingers reaching. Take a breath. Exhale, flow it out. Hands down, step back, and lower. Inhale for cobra. Remember where you're doing the work. Exhale, downward facing dog, and then warrior on the other side. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in. Use that back foot. It matters. That's it. I'm trying to get my eyeballs on everyone today. Yes, because you all matter. And it matters that I connect each and every one of you so that I can see that you're safe, that you're doing your work in a way that serves you. Try not to grip your toes on the mat. Sink in just a little bit lower and then reach up just a little bit higher. Take a breath and then flow it out. Hands down, step it back and lower. Inhale for cobra, a little less hands, a lot more back. Yep, exhale, downward facing dog. Reconnect with the work on the midline. Are you using your legs and your arms in a way that light up the pose? Are you breathing? If you use your legs strongly, you take some of the pressure off the wrists and the shoulders. So let your head down. Lift your hips high. Press your legs back. Last breath here. And then right foot steps up, left foot turns in. This time, one breath only. Rise on the inhalation. Show me your most beautiful expression of the pose. And then exhale your hands right back down. Step it back and lower. So the pace is coming up just a little bit. It won't stay like this for long. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. And then warrior on the left side for one breath only. Rise on that big inhalation. And then exhale the hands down, step back, and lower. Now the secret to all of this is if you take long, slow, deep breaths, you have lots of time to get from one pose to the next. That's it, cobra, and then down dog. Does that make sense? We are moving with the rhythm of the breath. So if your breath is getting choppy and panicky, you have no time to get anywhere and your nervous system gets totally thrown off. If you can keep the breath long and slow and deep, you have plenty of time to make your transitions. And that means as the workload goes up, as the intensity rises, you are staying cool, calm, and collected. Could you see how that might help you in life? Right? Push back just a little. And then look at your hands. You can walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Now bend your knees, chair pose. I know it's a strong pose. One breath. And then come to standing. Stretch all the way up. And then hands to your heart. Take a moment to find the rhythm of your breath. Can you extend it in some way that doesn't feel like you're overdoing it? Can you soften the outer shell of your body and let the ribs expand? Our breath should move 360 degrees, right? It runs three-dimensionally, front and back, side to side, and up and down that midline. So this is your moment right here. This right now is the most important part of your yoga. It is the mindfulness and the presence and the breath that you are going to move on. So the mindfulness and the breath come way before the movement. We add the movement on. So when you're ready, we're going to take Surya Namaskar B and we're going to do it with the rhythm of the breath. You might want to move a little faster than me. You might actually be able to move a little slower than me. I'm going to cue to the middle. And so I want you to honor yourself. Don't feel like you have to stay on my words and my timing. So on your inhale, take chair pose. Sit back and reach up. And when you're ready to exhale, forward fold. As soon as you're ready for that inhale, lift the chest and lengthen. And then step back and lower, emptying all that air out. One exhale all the way to your belly. You inhale when you take the back bend, make it big. And then hold the breath a little as you push back to down dog. Here we go. Right foot steps up, left foot turns in. This is your big inhale right here. All the way up, fill your lungs. Exhale, hands down, step back and lower. Control the amount of breath coming out. Take a deep breath in cobra pose. And as soon as you're ready to exhale, you move back, left foot steps, right foot flat. Here you go. Rise on the in-breath. Big, big inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back, and lower. Long, slow, deep breaths. Inhaling through your cobra pose, and then exhaling back to down dog. The more fluid you are and the more the movements match the breath, the better. And the truth is, to move slower in the practice is harder. We eliminate momentum and we actually use our muscles. So we get more core strength, we get more muscle engagement, and so it's a really beautiful thing to move slowly. Take one more breath, push back, and then exhale, look forward. Let's bring our feet to the top of the mat. Halfway up, inhale, lengthen through that midline. Exhale and fold. Chair pose, bend your knees, one breath. As you exhale, come to standing and release your arms. One more round, I think we've got it. Inhale, chair pose. Try it a little slower. Exhale slowly and fold. Take that long, slow inhale, lift your chest. Exhale comes out slowly as the feet go back and lower. Feel the control, use the abdominals. That's it. Inhale for cobra, open the heart wide. Exhale to down dog, step upright. The left foot goes flat and you rise on the inhale. Fill your lungs, reach for the sky, and then exhale, flowing back down. Hands down, step back, breath coming out the whole time as you lower. Big inhale for cobra. Exhale, touch back. Left foot steps, right foot flat. Rise on the inhale, breath control. Exhale, flow it out. Hands down, step it back, and lower. There is time for everything. Big inhale, you are totally toning and working your cardiovascular system. Take 5 breaths in down dog. Light it up if you can. Let your head down, push through your hands, lift your hips high. You're breathing steady. You want to feel like an upside down V here. So you got to lift your hips, get out of your shoulders. Lift your hips up and let your head down. No, don't move your hands. Let your head down. Yes. There you go, that's better. Last breath here. As you exhale, look at the front of your mat. Start to make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. I like it. Let the palms face each other. Fan the thumbs out behind you. Tailbone tucks a little bit, ribs come in, so a little more core work. Don't let your booty out. Just tuck that in a little. So like, look at my butt, not that, that. Good, come to standing. Stretch up and back, make it feel so good. And then bring your hands right to your heart. All right, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen, inhale. Take the right leg and step back, please. Stay on your toes. Root that right hand down and take a really beautiful twist out to the left side. That's it. Now, can we go back and put our consciousness on the midline? I want you to feel a little bit of work in that right heel pushing back. Feel the inseam of the right leg lengthen. And then pull the belly to the spine and make your spine grow a little bit longer as you begin that rotation. What you want to feel is the right ribs coming down and in, yes, and the left chest opening. Take one more breath right there, and then eyes go down, left hand goes down. I want you to look forward, and then put your hands a little more forward, pull the belly to the spine, and step your right foot back up to the top of the mat. You can lift it in the air, that's kind of nice, and then step it together at the top. Halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose. Utkatasana. Hands come to heart, sit a little lower. And then twist to the right. Left elbow outside your knee. Here's your counter twist. It's a little more challenging here to feel the elongation of the midline. But you can start by noticing the space between your feet, right? You want to make sure that your knees are even, your hips are even. You don't want to let that left knee sneak forward, so pull the left knee and the left hip back just a little. Go ahead, pull that left knee and left hip back just a little bit. Pull that back. There you go. Now, if you squeeze the muscles on the outside of your hips, you might be able to twist your spine a little bit deeper. There you go. And then forward fold, let it go. Oh, let the head down. Now, for the first time, we're actually going to introduce a little bit of softness. I want you to bend your knees. I want you to tuck your tailbone and your chin. And then start feeling that squeeze on the back of your legs. Feel the midline. Feel the space between your legs. Feel the lift of your pelvic floor. And start to lift yourself up with a rounded back, belly to the spine. Come up until you're really tall, stacking one vertebra at a time. Just resetting everything, standing tall. Find your breath. How do you feel? Pretty good? You look pretty good. Inhale, the arms reach. Just feel. Feel what's going on in your body. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway up. The left leg is going to lunge back. You're going to stay on the toes and root that left hand down. And then begin twisting, but start small. As you start to open up to the right, I want you to feel the midline. I want you to really ground through your left toes. That's it. So you want to make sure that the left knee isn't dipping down toward the mat. We want to try to lift the left knee. We want to lift the left hip. And if anything, bend into the right knee and go down a little deeper. That's it. And again, you can squeeze a little on the outer hips and start twisting from your waistline. Bring the left ribs under you. Open the right chest up. Feel for the elongation, the belly in and the spine long. Take one more breath. And then the eyes go down, the hands go down. You're going to look a little forward. Walk the hands a little forward, then lift your left leg up and step it together at the top of the mat. Beautiful. Halfway up, inhale. Fold as you exhale. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. We feel even in our feet. We're using the lateral borders of the feet. Hands are coming to the heart, and you're going to twist to the left side. Elbow goes outside the knee, and you're going to check in to make sure that you're balanced and centered, that you're not letting the twist take you over to the left, but that you are completely in control of how you situate your body, your breathing. And even though the workload is going up and the muscles are asking for more oxygen, you are breathing calmly, deeply. Let's squeeze a little bit on the outer hips and try to twist just a touch more. There you go. And then forward fold and let it go. Yeah, you can feel the release of the tension right there. And then once again, I want you to bring in some sensitivity. So soften the knees. Start to squeeze a little bit on the hamstrings. Pull the belly to the spine. Tailbone tucks, chin tucks. And like a rag doll, I want you to roll yourself up slowly. Push into your feet. Feel how your muscles are bringing you up to standing. That's it. Now, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. And then step back to plank and hold it this time. So we're not going to put this one in a flow. We're actually going to hold the plank pose. So you've got to think back to the midline. You're lifting belly to spine. You're using your legs strongly. You feel elongation. Even the crown of the head pulls forward. Now I'm going to ask you to roll the pose onto your left side. So roll onto your left arm, roll to the outer edge of your left foot. You've got to keep that work in the midline. You might even feel like you should lift your hips and your ribs because they're the heaviest and they want to sink. Gravity wants to take them. So I'm going to ask you to pull in your center and lift a little higher. Now, turn that palm forward, reach the bicep over the ear. Make the side body long, lift the hips. And then arm goes up, inhale. Eyes go down, hand goes down. Let's lift the hips and walk our hands back to our feet. Yes, get the weight off the arms. Say, ah. Yes, big inhale. Let out a good old ah. Yeah. Let's grab onto our big toes with the peace sign fingers. So that's your middle finger and your index finger. Your feet should be about hip distance apart. That means you could fit 2 fists between your feet. So you want to have some space there between your feet. That's it. And you will feel a little less pull in the hamstrings if you open the feet up a little bit wider. You should be at the back of the mat, feet wide. So open your feet and go to the back of the mat. Yeah. We'll let go of your toes when you get there. That's it. Yeah, there you go. Let your head down. I see some of you really straining. Where are you trying to get to? It's a really good question to ask in the middle of yoga practice. And why? Why are you trying to get there? If you have a good reason, I'll say go ahead, continue doing it. But most of the time, we don't have a really good answer for that. So what if we just did it a little softer? What if you let your elbows point out to the side and you pull your shoulders into your back and let your head down? And then just really gently and sensitively, maybe try to encourage your knees back away from your belly, just a little bit. If we do it with grace and we do it with presence, the body is way more agreeable. Now, we're going to release those toes. Inhale, look up, lengthen that midline, pull the chest out, and then walk it forward into plank pose. So you know what's coming. This is integration, right? We're going to stay long on the midline, roll over onto our left side so we're facing right. No, did I do that on the other side? So roll to the right, facing left, sorry. That's it. And I know the middle is heavy, so can you lift it up? Hips up, ribs up. Turn the palm to face forward. Reach the bicep over the ear. Yes, as you're getting longer, you're lifting higher, and it's coming from strength in the middle. Take one more breath right there. Bring the arm back up, then eyes down, hand down. Lift your hips, and walk your hands back to your feet. This time I want you to bend your knees a little bit so you can slide your whole hand under your feet. That's it. Slide the whole hand under there so your toes come all the way up to the wrist. You're standing on your palms. You want the back of your hand on the floor so that the wrist is getting some release from those plank poses. Everything has a purpose. We are going to try to touch every nook and cranny of your body and give yourself a chance to release the tension that you hold. We're going to do it with mindfulness and with breath. Take one more breath right where you are. And then gently slide those hands out from under your feet. When you're ready, inhale, look up, and then walk it out into plank pose. This should be the best plank pose you've done so far. Your body knows it. The impressions have been made. Maintain the integrity of your pose as you lower down slowly. Take it all the way down onto your belly. Inhale for cobra, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. All right, now the right leg is going to lift up in the air behind you, and it should feel so good. Like lift it up till it feels really good. You could even lift and open the hip up. Yep, stretch the toes way up into the sky. And as you feel that right leg lifting high, can you also sink into your left heel? That's it. Take a breath. And then come forward into plank pose and touch that right knee to the right elbow. As you do it, look forward. Oh yeah, you are super strong right here. And then release it back again. One leg down dog, leg up in the air, stretch high. And then come forward again, knee to nose. This time you tuck the chin down, get small. Open it up again, leg in the air behind you, breathing in. And then exhale, cross the body, go to your left elbow. See if you can make it touch. Stay there, look to the left. And then straighten your right leg out to the left side. Put it on the floor. Now lift your left arm up. Push into both feet. Yes, twist open. There you go. That should feel pretty damn good there. That's a wild thing. Lift your hips. The middle feels heavy. Yeah, you feel the difference? Give yourself one more breath right there. And then eyes down, hands down. Step back to plank and lower. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now I'm starting to get dirty looks. Not really sure why that's happening. I thought I gave you a pose that felt really good. And so, every single thing that we do here is optional. So if you're going to project your frustration with yourself or your body's performance on me, I think that you need to look at that. You could sit out anything and observe and watch how other people do the poses. You can learn by observing, right? You can try and give it your best shot and feel empowered. Let's try the other side. Lift the left leg up behind you. That should feel good. Lift your leg, make it feel good. Breathe in. And then come forward plank. Touch left knee, left elbow. Look forward. Right? No drama there. Take the leg back up. Inhale, stretch. And then this time knee to nose. Get really tall. Small. Tuck it tight. The T was right there. It was right coming up behind. Inhale, lift that left leg up. And then cross the body, left knee, right elbow, look to the right, straighten that leg out to the right, and then lift your right arm up. I know you have that impression in you. Lift your hips, lift your ribs, that's it. Make it feel really good. You can even drop your head back and take a little bit of an extension there. Oh, make it really, really yummy. And then pull yourself together and put it back. Hands on the floor, step back and lower. Much better on that side, not as many nasty faces. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. So I think sometimes when you get something unexpected that you're not ready for, that's what happens. And I'm sure that doesn't only happen on the mat. The next time something happens that you weren't ready for or expecting, watch how you respond. Take one more breath right there. Push back. And then step your right foot forward. Stay on your left toes. Good. Rise to high crescent lunge. We're going to turn to the left and pivot the back foot flat so you're in a warrior two stance. There you go. Open your arms wide. And so here we are again in that warrior pose. Chest lifted. Taking up lots of space. An empowering pose. Now I know that we are spread out really wide from the midline, and we're trying to do that. We're trying to open up the space, but at the same time to create balance, as much as you are reaching out, can you also pull up and in? Yeah. Now reverse the warrior from there. Left arm down, right arm rises, and you're going to elongate from the pit of the belly. So again, trying to draw the spine long. You can sink down a little lower, but pull the belly in and lengthen up. Yes. That is amazing. Return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Triangle pose. Again, this is one of those poses where length matters, right? We want to really keep the legs long. We want to keep the spine long. Lateral movement is so important. We don't do stuff like this in everyday living. Don't be afraid of the space behind you. Press down into your feet and rise back up. Warrior two, bend the front knee. Feel that energy of reaching out and pulling in. And then maintain that as you take your vinyasa. Both hands go to the floor. Step yourself back and lower. Inhale, cobra, strengthening the back muscles. Don't overpower and use your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right. A minute right here just to breathe, to reconnect, to light up what you can, to have a sense of humor about maybe some of the awarenesses, things that are happening. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to the other side, stepping left foot to the top of the mat. Stay on your right toes. Rise facing forward first. That's high crescent. And then we turn open to the right for warrior two. That's it. So both feet have a purpose. We're taking up some space. We're breathing deeply. As you stretch yourself out, can you also draw in? Feel how that drawing in gives you some support. Then reverse the warrior, right arm down, left arm up. Yeah, make that feel so good. And I know that as soon as we go up, we don't even know it, but we come out of that front knee a little bit. So let's see if we can, bring it back in there. Bring it back in and maybe press that knee a little wider. And then reach out of the side waist. That's it. Pull the belly into the spine. And then return to warrior 2. Whoops, straighten the front leg and take triangle pose. That's it. Front leg straight. It might mean that you don't go as deep. Turn your hand over. Keep that straight. Breathe. Try to lengthen the left waist. And then keep pressing into the feet. Rise back up to warrior 2. Bend that front knee. Feel that energy lengthening up the midline. Keep that support as you take your vinyasa. Both hands go to the floor. Belly stays in. Step back lightly. Lower slowly. Inhale, cobra. Shoulders back. Shoulders back. Yes. Downward facing dog. Now walk your hands to the back of the mat. Turn your toes out a little bit and come into a nice deep squat. Now this is one of those places where everything kind of falls out, right? You just sit down and you're just so happy to be sitting, even if it's not the most comfortable seat, at least you're not standing and you're not on your hands anymore, right? But here's one of those moments where that movement in the midline matters, right? So I want you to feel what it feels like to lift your pelvic floor. Yeah. It's this sort of feeling of lifting up and in and holding yourself. And you can stay right here. You can stay in this deep squat and just keep working on that pelvic floor and on the core work and making your spine even taller up through the crown of your head. Or you could take this into an arm balance, which I know some of you like to play. We call it Bakasana. I have to go sideways so I don't fall off the step. But what you're going to do is put your hands down, keep your knees above your elbows, and then rock some weight into your hands. You have to come forward and you have to look forward. So I want you to look at the front edge of your mat, rock your weight into your hands, and then see if you can pick your feet up and touch the toes together. You might rock forward one time and just lift your right foot. Just see what it feels like to do it on one leg. There's a squeezing into the midline that happens all the way up through the inseam of that leg that lifts. And then rock forward, try the other leg. Don't hop. If you hop up, you're going to face plant yourself into the floor. It has to be an energetic muscular lift. That's it. So we can totally enjoy the squat or we can fly. Just make sure you look forward when you're flying. Don't look at your feet. Yeah. That's it. Touch your toes together. Whoop. It's all part of the fun. All right. Go ahead, release. Let's come into a forward fold. Release your hips, release your knees, let your head hang free for a moment. Your feet can be about hip distance apart. I want you to grab your opposite elbows and sway a little bit. Make sure that there's some fluidity to that midline. Let the ribs move. Let the head dangle. And then I want you to bend your knees enough to get your fingers on the floor. And then start walking your hands a little forward. Keep bending your knees until you can put your knees down onto the mat into a tabletop pose. And then simply sit back on your heels. That's it. You can rest your hands in your lap or put your hands in prayer, but we're going to just sit in stillness for a moment. I want you to pause. Breathe. And really notice how you feel. If you feel safe, you can close your eyes. We minimize the distraction around us and we really turn inward. Keep that midline long. I love the way that you were able to make that correction so easily just because you brought your attention to it. And I know that I won't be with you the rest of the day, but I want you to imagine my voice somewhere in the back of your head a couple hours from now saying, remember, elongate the midline. It could actually change the course of your whole day. And if you started doing that a few times a day, every day, it could change the course of your life. It sounds crazy, but I see it every day. Mindfulness, presence, breath, body awareness. These are the things that make this yoga. And after all of that comes the poses. And so we've learned that the poses are a tool to teach us all of the other things. They're a way for us to get to know ourselves in a really safe way. Now I know that your ankles and your knees are talking to you. And so I want you to take a deep breath and just inside, just say thank you. And then go ahead and lay yourself all the way out onto your belly so you can release any tension from those knees. You can lay yourself down, just lay on your belly, turn your head to one side. Now let's bend our knees so our feet go up toward the sky, and then wiggle your toes. Yep, wiggle your toes, circle your ankles, get all the snap, crackle, pops out. Yoga's fun. When was the last time you laid on the floor? You don't even have to hold them, Lise. Just let them go. Yeah, just wiggle them, circle them. Do you guys feel the snap, crackle, pops in there? Yeah, like let's work them out. I don't think we give our feet enough love. That's it. It's good to feel like a kid. And then go ahead, put your feet back down onto the floor. That's it. And I want you to bend your elbows and put your hands right under your shoulders. So the hands are under the shoulders, the elbows are kind of pointing up behind you. The hands are kind of by your rib cage, by your chest. Yeah, there you go. And then take the left one and stretch it straight out to the side. Just take the left hand and stretch it straight out to the side, and then push into your right hand and roll some of your weight onto your left shoulder. That's it. Just roll your body over to the left. You might even bend your right knee and put it on the foot. Put your foot on the floor behind you. I felt like I should give you something different than pigeon. That's it. Yeah. So bend this knee more so you can put it on the floor behind you. Roll over. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Try to put that on the floor. Put the foot down. Put down, foot down. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, yay. Now take a deep breath in. See if you can feel yourself elongating the midline. Maybe lift the chest up and pull the head back a little bit so we decompress the shoulder just a touch. We're going to take one more breath here. And then very slowly roll yourself back onto your belly. Put that right leg back on the mat. Bring your left hand in and stretch your right arm out. And then you're going to use the left hand to push so you can roll a little bit of your weight. And you get to decide. If you push a lot, you can really crush your right shoulder. And that is not the outcome we're looking for. So you want to just a little bit. Like if you lean a little more weight into your left hand right now, you'll take the pressure off. And if you push into your left hand, you can go deeper into the right shoulder. So you get to navigate the amount of intensity, and you should choose how intense based on how much sensation you have. We want it to be tolerable. We want to recognize that we found some tension, and we want to keep it soft enough that we can work it out, that we can let it go. We don't want to add more tension. When tension meets tension, everything escalates. If you meet tension with grace, if you meet tension with sensitivity, you diffuse it. Try it the next time you're going to fight with your spouse. Meet the tension with grace and sensitivity instead of more tension, and it will diffuse instead of escalate. The lessons from the mat are many. Let's go ahead and roll ourselves back onto the belly. Do it gently. And then go ahead and take child's pose. So we push ourselves back, hips to heels, head to the floor. Take 2 breaths. On this 3rd breath, lift the head up, come to seated, and just swing your feet around in front of you. That's it. Inhale, the arms reach. Extend both legs straight out, and then forward fold. Let this be a little more of a surrender than a reach. We have to shift energy when we come to the end of the practice, so we're going to start to soften. We're going to take it down a notch. So I don't even want you to reach and touch your toes. Let go of your toes. Just softly bend forward so you're letting your body soften. Not reaching for anything, not grabbing for anything, but actually engaging in the beginnings of surrender. Let your head down. It's a humble moment. Again, just let yourself feel. There's no reason to tear yourself apart. A simple bend forward is a departure from your regular posture, and it's good for your body. Now, pull your belly to your spine. Round yourself up, so feel the core work. Support the spine as you roll back to sitting. And then bend your knees, put both feet flat. And very slowly start to roll yourself down. Again, squeeze a little on the back of the legs, pull in the pelvic floor. Think about the midline. You're laying 1 vertebra at a time down onto the earth. Once you lay flat, take a deep breath in, give yourself a little ah. There you go. All right. Let's pull the knees to the belly. You can squeeze them if it feels good. You could even rock a little bit side to side. I think organic movement is a really good way for you to learn to trust yourself with your body. Develop a relationship of sensitivity where you know what feels good and you know what doesn't. And then we'll rock so much so that we go knees and hips all the way to the right. Open your chest wide and reach out to the left, and we'll take a really beautiful and gentle spinal twist. And again, here we find ourselves with attention to the midline. Your tailbone and the crown of your head should be on one line. I want you to let go of all the muscle actions. Don't try to twist deeper here. See if you can just simply move the breath up and down that midline. Let the breath expand so much that you feel it down by the tailbone and even up near the collarbones. Your ribs are attached to your spine, so when you breathe, it actually creates a sweet undulation and a movement. And a long exhale can help reset that nervous system into calmness. Take one more breath here. And then very gently bring yourself back into the center. We're going to roll our knees over to the other side. So knees and hips are going left, chest open wide. Look out to the right. Remember, we're not trying to twist deeper. All of your energy and all of your attention is going to go to the midline. Put your consciousness on the space between the tailbone and the crown of your head. And let the breath move up and down that central channel. Your work here is important. Surrender could be one of the most important pieces of this practice. Let's roll back to center. Give your knees one last squeeze. And then prepare for your final resting pose, Shavasana. Both legs go all the way down. And I know that some of you came here just for this. They even sell shirts that say, I'm just here for Shavasana. And that's okay with me, because to me this is the most sacred part of the practice. Being in stillness. Letting go of your obsession with the body. Letting go of clinging to and controlling the breath. Inviting the stillness. There is a magical place in between the breaths where the mind and the body are still. So I want you to draw your attention back to the midline. Start to move the breath up and down that beautiful central channel. And notice how everything begins to awaken. You begin to feel present in your body and in this beautiful space. And you can start to move a little bit. As if it feels good, stretch and move any way that you like. I want you to take your time, and in your own way, and in your own time, I want you to make your way to a seated position. And remember, lengthen the midline. I'm not going to be there later, but I'm hoping somewhere you kept a little sliver of me in the back of your head. Right? A little piece of me with you until the next time. And if it feels like you forgot, and that reminder isn't there, you can tune in. You can roll your mat out for 5 minutes anywhere that you are. And you can breathe and you can move and you can remember. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. Take a really nice deep breath in. Let out the sound of ah. And then take another deep breath in. Let out the sound ooh. Ooh. And then we're going to take one more breath and we're going to make a like an M sound. And we're going to put all three of those sounds together and make the sacred sound of Om. And that sound is going to help raise your vibration. So we sit up tall and we breathe in deep and then together, right? You guys with me? All right, here we go. Fill your lungs. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om peace, peace, peace. May this practice always be a source of peace for us, for each and every one of us that showed up today on this mat. May we find a little bit of peace in our lives, in our hearts. And to everybody else who's not here in this park, but together with us on this practice, may you find some peace within. And may all of that elevate so much. May we be a presence of peace in the world so that everyone who did not get on a mat today can somehow be touched by your energy, by what you bring, by how you hold yourself in the world. Namaste. Thank you so, so much. You guys are so beautiful. I feel so honored and blessed, actually, just to be in your presence. I am going to miss you. I am traveling. No, next week I told you guys about, remember Terry was here last week and she talked about the mala and the gala, right? So I'm being honored in the gala on Saturday night, but during the day, actually the same time as this, we're doing a huge fundraiser at the Westin in Fort Lauderdale. It's a $25 donation. It goes to COCO, which is the Connection Coalition. It brings mindfulness practices and yoga to kids that are at risk, like kids in trauma, kids that are in shelters, foster care, jails, inner city schools, anywhere that we can find the kids that are at risk and they're living in trauma. We are bringing mindfulness practices to them all over, not just Florida, but they're all over the country. There's like 20 plus states now that have COCO programs in them. And so it's really important work, and we're doing what we call a mala, 108 sun salutations. There'll be tons of vendors. It will be a really beautiful community event. It's at the Westin Fort Lauderdale. If you'd like to come, I have cards. I have information about it. Please join me. I'm one of the teachers. There's 10 teachers teaching the sun sals. So maybe we skip the park next week and we come to the fundraiser and do some good with our yoga. Yeah, bring the clipboards up, please. Next week will be Robin. She will be here. You guys will love her. So if you want to do your routine and come to the park, please come support Robin. So I will not be here. And then the following week, really, really important, it's canceled. There is no yoga on the 10th. 10th or the 11th? 10th. Yeah, there is no yoga on the 10th. There is a huge event, some food and wine festival that the city's putting on. They start setting up Friday night. So there will be no yoga on the 10th. I'll blast it all over social media, but not all of you follow me. So not all of you are on social. If you're not on my email list and you want to be notified when there's no class, please come sign the sign-in sheet for the emails. That's really, really my only way to communicate with you, social and the email list. Yeah. And so I want to stay in touch. Here's the email list. Here's the info about the Sun Sals for Coco. Come and see me. Bring the clipboards forward so I can communicate with you. That's how you tune in live to this when you're not here. Yeah. Yeah, here. Thank you. Yeah, that's for next Saturday. Yeah. I bet. Hi, you want to find out about the kids next Saturday? Yeah, thank you. It's really important that we use our yoga on purpose, right? That our yoga has a purpose. Yes. Yes, it's is that at the Marriott? Right. Yeah. So organic beauty and wellness is also happening tomorrow. If anyone's interested, at the Marriott, all kinds of beautiful organic beauty and wellness products. There'll be yoga there with Courtney. And Courtney and her husband Mike Mitchell are doing amazing work to bring health and wellness to our community. So join them tomorrow at the Marriott on Military Trail for organic beauty and wellness. Hello. How are you? Thank you. I saw you walk up, and I'm so glad that you came forward to see me. I try. That's what I'm saying. I knew exactly. I saw you when you walked in. I was so happy to see you, but I didn't know if you'd stay. Like sometimes people just come and scoot, so thank you for the hug. Yeah, at the Marriott, it's Organic Beauty and Wellness. In Delray? No, right here, the Marriott on Military, across from the studio. Okay.